About time I made a video, and today I got my first Juvia's Place palette, and I hear all this raving about how Juvia's Place has like the best eyeshadows, and I picked up the Zulu palette by Juvia. And so on the back it says, the ambiance of the Zulu palette takes on a new character. It exemplifies the rich art of the Ndebe people of South Africa, embodied with colorful symmetry and precision, a limitless expression of self-thought, eccentric hues, earth tones, and exotic metallic shades. Okay, so this has 7 pressed pigments and 2 eyeshadows, and then, oh dear, it has a clear sleeve. So it doesn't have the names of the shades on there, but they all look very vibrant. And then, so the mattes are pressed pigments, and I think this one is also a pressed pigment, and then these 2 are eyeshadows. And so off the bat, it's pretty nice. Let me see if I can swatch it. I mean, can't really swatch it on my bare skin. Let me try the blue, because I know blue will show up. Oh, that's good. And I'm actually also going to compare it to the Morphe 25L palette. So I'm going to also swatch the yellow and the teal. So then this is the Morphe yellow. And this is the teal from the Morphe palette. So in the pan, they both look the same, but they do swatch differently. I think the Juvia's one is actually more opaque. And so in this video, I plan on doing like 3 different looks. And so the first look, I think I plan to use like a sunset kind of look, like with the orange, the yellow, the red, and then this shimmer. And then I'm going to do another look using all the colors, and then another look just using a couple more again. And so let's get into it. So I'm applying a white base to be sure to give it a fair shot. And I started off and it gave me like a really weird reaction. It like made my eyes really watery. But I took all it off and I'm starting off again. So I'm going in with that yellow shade and I'm just using it as a transition between my upper brow bone and my crease. And this like shade, okay, so something I'm noticing right off the bat is like these shadows are really dry. Like I feel like the more I try blending it, it fades out. And I think I actually like is there's no fallout in the pan at all. And I'm kind of like digging into it and there's no fallout, which is pretty nice. So I think I'm gonna go in with this orange shade, which actually is a lot softer than the yellow shade. And it does have a little bit of fallout and this is coming off much better. Okay, so maybe it was just the yellow that was feeling dry, because this feels very creamy and buttery and it looks very blendable. So far I like it a lot. And then I'm gonna go in with the red. And then this one feels a little dry, but it's very pigmented. Like, oh my gosh, Morphe is quaking. Don't worry, Morphe, I still stan you. Don't worry, nothing can come between us. And it actually blends really nicely. And I'm gonna just wing this out because I'm really into this winged eyeshadow for no reason. And I'm just putting this over a white base just to give it a fighting chance. And so far it looks pretty good. Probably can't see too well because of the lighting, but it looks really good right now. So I'm just repeating those same steps. And I'd like to say, despite these shadows being dry, they do blend really easy. It makes my job a lot easier. I feel like I just put it on and it blends out. But it's like not as pigmented as I would hope. Like I have to keep digging in and tapping into the red in order to actually get a good color payoff. While like with the 25L palette, I just tap it and then it's there. It's done. Alright, so I'm just cutting the crease and now I'm going in with that shimmery pink shade, which is like a duochrome, and it's just so pretty. Like I'm honestly in love with the shimmers from this palette. They are really nice. You have to dig in a tiny bit, but you get a lot of payoff from them. And it's like such a large shape that I feel like it would last you so long. Now I'm just going in with some orange to try and blend the shimmer out into the red. And I'm doing it to both sides. Okay, so now I kind of want to see how well these shadows function just for like the under eye smoking out, you know? So I'm gonna put down some concealer so that it has something to stick to. Okay, so I'm gonna take the 209 brush from Luxie and I'm gonna go in with the I think the red shade. I'm gonna go in with the red and I'm gonna just smoke that out. And so far it's going on pretty nice. But I feel like I'm not getting a lot of color payoff when it's just over just brown concealer. I think it came off a lot better with the white concealer. But it still looks very nice. Like, they blend really well into the skin. Like, really well. It looks kind of nice, not gonna lie. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that purple. The purple actually looks really intense, so I'm hoping that this little dab isn't too much. And that little dab was too much, which is actually really nice though, because it's really hard to make a purple shade that doesn't come off muddy. So I commend them for that, because that purple is intense. You can see that purple. But I'm gonna go back in with the red over it. And actually, I'm kind of living for this. But the purple is very intense, which I don't know if you can see it on camera. But it does look really nice. It looks like a good purple. Let me see if I can swatch it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a strong purple. ColourPop is quaking. I'm actually gonna go in with a bit of this red and see if I can use it as like a blush. It goes onto the brush nice. Oh yeah. Actually, I think I might actually like this red better as a blush than an eyeshadow. Because it does blend really nicely into the skin. I'm really happy with that. I just noticed that like it's hard to like blend it after it's like set over the concealer. Like I can't really layer the shadows that much because I can see it breaking up when I try to layer it. And I did have like some balling of product on the corner, which I don't really normally get. But the color payoff and the final result is really nice. Alright, this is the final look for the sunset look. I paired it with some really fluffy lashes. And I'm kind of in love. This is it in just like regular artificial lighting. And then that's it with some natural lighting. Alright, so this is the second look. This is my look with all the colors on the palette. And I'm honestly living for it. So I'm going in with a white base to make sure that all the colors pop. And I'm blending this out with a sponge. And I'm going in with that yellow and I'm putting it in the front part, just like on top of my brow bone and kind of into my crease. And then I'm going in with the orange and I'm putting it next to and underneath that yellow. Now I'm going in with a little bit more of the orange to make it more intense, and then I'm going to go in with the red to transition that orange into the purple. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear like the vent and like birds and stuff. I don't know why, but this new apartment is just so loud. Another thing I really like about these shadows is I don't have to work crazy hard for them to blend. Like this purple just effortlessly kind of blended into the red, and same with the orange into the yellow, and I'm just gonna like, I'm just in love. And now with this like teal shade, it comes off more blue than it does green, and it actually was a little hard to get a good payoff with it. It wasn't very opaque on top of the skin. Like it caused some difficulties for me with blending it out into the purple. Now typically when you blend purple and green, it creates neutral tint, which is kind of like a Payne's gray, Jane's gray kind of shade. So I'm going in with the blue, the green, and then that duochrome pink, and so I'm just taking the blue and I'm patting that on to the outer third of my crease, and then I'm putting some purple to blend it in, and then I'm going to use a little bit of that teal shade as well. And this did take a while to blend with the shimmers into the back end of my crease, but eventually it happened. Now I'm using that green, and that green has like this nice silver undertone that I'm honestly in love with. And it actually blends really nice into the other two shimmers, like the pink one, which normally pink and green don't blend together, and it just blended so nice. Like I love the formula of the shimmers, like they blend very effortlessly and very seamlessly. Look at that shit. It's so good. I'm in love. Now this is it before I add liner and lashes, which is where looks can get fucked up. Yep. Now I'm going in with a little bit of concealer. You know the drill. And I'm also setting it with powder. And I'm using that same red eyeshadow as a blush, and it's actually kind of patchy. Maybe it would work better if like I use like a sticky foundation or a sticky primer. I don't know. And so I'm going with that brown because I said I was going to use all the colors, and I'm just using it to deepen my lower lash line, and I'm going back over with the orange and then a little bit of red. So this is when all of it falls down, when I realized that I wasn't in frame. So this is the final look. I put on some spiky lashes. This is it in natural lighting, and I'm really in love with this look. Like, I could do this every day and be so happy. Okay, for the final look, I decided to do something natural. So I'm using a little bit of e.l.f. eye tape, and I'm using the Urban Decay priming potion, which I absolutely hate. And I'm just blending that out with a flat concealer brush. And I'm gonna go in with the orange and the brown to start off. And so I'm gonna try and like create a deepened crease with a flat brush for the brown, which didn't really work out too well because the brown is very close to my tone. But I think if you're slightly lighter than me, it would work perfectly fine this way. And then I'm also going in with a tiny bit of the purple to like deepen it, because when you mix brown with blue, it creates black, and the purple was the closest I was going to get to blue. And I'm going in with the orange, and I'm using the same flat brush because when you're in a rush, you use the same brush. And without creating a crease, a defined crease, let me rephrase, a defined crease, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that pink shimmer on my fingertip and blend it on, and oh my goodness. I forgot how much I like that. Damn it, I'm not supposed to like it. No. Alright, so this is the final natural look. I popped on some big lashes to make it more dramatic, and I added a little bit of inner corner liner. And I'm honestly living for it. The ability of this pink shade to be gold and pink at the same time, I just can't even. It's so versatile. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my Juvias first impression, first time trying video. I tried really hard to make this palette work for me. It kind of did for the most part, but some of the shades in it were like really difficult. That like green shade and like all the shimmers were amazing, fantastic. Even the purple, fantastic, and the orange. But the yellow and the red were like so dry and like they were so sheer, and I couldn't really get good color payoff. Like the red would work fine as a blush because it's not opaque, but for an eyeshadow, it's kind of lackluster. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!